princesses and princesses, and welcome back to my channel. Since I have my phone interview in exactly 18 hours, I figured there would be no funner way to start this video than with my own nightmare NLIC story. So, for those of you who don't know what NLIC means or what the Disney College Program is even about, here's a little background. The Disney College Program is a paid internship where you go and work either at Walt Disney World in Florida or in Disneyland, California for a semester. While you're there, you have the opportunity to take classes, make connections, and work full-time for the Disney company. The application process is extensive and contains 4 parts. The first part is the actual application, the second is the web-based interview, the third is a phone interview, and then if they want you, you get a final offer. At any point during the process, they may decide that you're not a good fit for the company, or maybe there were just too many applications and you didn't quite measure up with them, and you will be what is called NLIC'd. Now, NLIC is a term that stands for no longer in consideration, meaning that you are no longer in consideration for a role with the company at all. And that's what happened to me. Now, to clarify, this did not happen to me when I first applied to the program. In fact, I actually got into the DCP on my very first try, and there are even videos about this on this channel. This was very recently, and obviously the story has a semi-happy ending as of late because I have a phone interview in, it was 18 hours, now it's 15, but the whole situation was a little crazy. So after you do your first Disney College Program, you're added to a Disney alumni list where there is a specific summer program you can do where you go down to Disney just for the summer instead of taking off time for a whole school semester. Which for me, since I'm graduating next year, is something that is kind of a big deal. The Disney College Program was an amazing experience and I really just wanted to go back home. However, I couldn't really afford to take a whole semester off because that would derail my graduation process. Sorry, I have my roommates here in the room, so if I look that way, it's just because I'm looking at them. Totally derailed. I absolutely loved working there at Disney and being all a part of the Disney magic. I just can't really afford to take off another semester to do so. So when the application for the Summer Alumni Program came out, I automatically applied. Now, some background about my time at Disney. I worked parking operations for Spring Advantage programs of 2018 in Hollywood Studios, and I absolutely loved all of it. But I also worked a ton of hours while I was there. And by that, I mean I would have like 16-hour shifts back to back, day after day some days. Some weeks, I mean. And because I was a good worker, I was scheduled quite a bit. That isn't how it is for everyone. I had a roommate who sometimes barely ever got 16-hour shifts, but it's just what happened to me in my location and where I was at, and like I said, I was fine with it. However, because of this, I had to take out a lot of costume pieces so that I wasn't running out of my costume at any point in time. Now that may seem like too much information, but trust me, it is very important to the rest of the story. Now before I left my program, I did take a week off to give my family the best Disney vacation that I could afford, which I could do because I worked so much so often. I managed to trade shifts and get the entire week off just for my family. So I thought that I had done everything that needed to be done, and on my last shift, I thought I'd turn in everything that I needed to turn in costuming. So when I applied for the Summer Alumni Program, I thought that I had left the company in good standing. And then I got this email. And naturally, I freaked out. I didn't know what was going on. They didn't tell me in the email why I had been NLIC'd, and I was racking my brains to figure out what I could have possibly done. And I mean everything from how many points I'd gotten down to the program, to if I didn't turn something in, to whether I had called out at some point my last week and I just didn't remember it. The only thing I knew for a fact was that it was something I did during my program because the email was almost automatically sent after I turned in my application, and it mentioned that I worked for the Disney company before. So fast forward about an hour because I was crying for quite a while. I put a post on the alumni page asking for an email to contact anybody, and I didn't get an email at all. I got people asking me like, what happened? What did my email say? Stuff like that, but nobody really had an email to contact anybody at. And I will put both emails and the link to where I found where to contact people at in the description for anybody else who is having the same problem or has had the same problem or anything like that. So, when I finally figured out where to email, somebody had also mentioned that it might be something that I forgot to put into costuming. Because if you don't turn in all of your costumes, you are automatically put on restricted rehire on the basis of you pay for whatever you lost or you turn it in at some point in time. So I found the place to put in my request, and I did that, and then I emailed Disney and costuming. And at that point, I was pretty sure that I was just going to be NLIC'd for the season. But since I eventually want to go back to Disney, I thought it was best to just clear up the misunderstanding as best as I possibly could, make sure that everything was good so that next season, if I still wanted to, I could still apply. And costuming emailed me back almost immediately saying that I forgot to turn in a $3 hat. So it wasn't anything I did, it was just something that I forgot to turn in. And it was a $3 hat, so I don't mind paying for that. There was no problem with that. And they immediately changed my rehire status back to being able to be rehired, and they didn't tell me about whether or not my application was still good for the season. So I just kind of lost hope at that point, and I was just heartbroken about it all. So I had applied, just for a timeline, I applied Tuesday, got NLIC'd, emailed literally costuming and Disney about everything that I could have possibly done. Got an email Wednesday saying that they could just take it out of my paycheck when I got there and that it would be okay. And then finally on Friday, I got an email from the Disney College Program Support saying that once I confirmed that my rehire status was changed, I could be able to reconsider for the season. So I immediately sent an email back saying that I got an email confirmation about the change 2 days ago, and I CC'd the email just in case a day after. And then today, finally, at Tuesday at 1:05 p.m., I got an email saying that I would be reconsidered for the season of the Summer Alumni Program. At 1:45, I received my web-based interview, and then at 1:53 today, I scheduled my phone interview that will happen in exactly 15 hours now. So, there are two morals to this story. One is never give up. Always email, always check it out, always, even if you're not going to go back to Disney later, make sure that you get everything straightened out, because you never want your standing in the company to be something where they could say, she didn't do this, and therefore that didn't show the level of responsibility that we were looking for. And always, 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 when you're leaving the Disney College program, if you are ever planning on coming back, if you ever want to be with the Disney company again, turn in all of your costumes, because otherwise you will have a major freak out moment. Well, that is all for this video, folks. I will update you guys on the process as it continues, and hopefully I will be back home this summer. Until then, as always, stay magical.